Pro drifter turned printer, still racing, still creating, and doing it all out of a shop right here in Denton. Founder and owner of 144 Print House and Race Studio, today my guest is Nate Hamilton. Denton's got it all: the food, the music, the art, and of course the people. And behind every corner, there's a story worth sharing. And that's what this podcast is all about. Denton's best, one conversation at a time. I'm Brad, and this is If You Didn't Know, Now You Know. Welcome back to another episode of If You Didn't Know. Really excited to have Nate Hamilton here in studio with us. Nate, welcome to the studio.
Dude, what an awesome place, man. This is epic.
Thank you.
Right in the heart of downtown. I'm stoked.
Right here we are. That's right. Well, we're really excited to have you in. You kind of, we've been talking a little bit about some space that you're evaluating and maybe needing more of, but really excited to connect with you on a more personal level, learn about what you're doing, and kind of show off all the cool stuff you're doing here in Denton. So that's what we're trying to do with this podcast. So excited to have you.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, I seen the socials and I thought, man, this is like a core Denton group that's on your stage. And thanks for having me. Thought it would be cool to just shed some light on 144 and our history with Denton.
Well, let's do it. Well, before we dive into 144 and kind of your background, tell us where you grew up.
Yeah, grew up in Rowlett, Texas. So born and raised in Texas.
Okay.
Family's from Michigan. Spent some time in Florida with racing, and then moved to Denton in 2020 era.
Okay.
So right when COVID hit, found a home here, and honestly, everything took off from there.
So the business, and we'll dive into the business a little bit, but that started in Denton in 2017-ish?
Yeah, like I definitely spent some time in Wiley. So our first location was
Okay.
Wiley, Texas. The theory was kind of not moving back to my hometown after leaving.
Close, but not quite there. Yeah.
Exactly. So felt a little bit fresh instead of just returning to home. And then got guided out here to Denton and really fell in love with the city and just felt that it was so creative and so energetic when it comes to creating,
Yeah. Okay. So did you grow up racing? Is that,
No,
your hobby, or what did you grow up doing? What was your hobby?
Yeah. So, on a timeline, it was like skateboards, screen printing, cars, drifting,
Okay. You were screen printing before you were ever racing and drifting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Screen printing and drifting kind of came together near the same time frame. And it was the opportunity of a job that was a little more lenient than a 9-to-5, so I could stack up work and then I could go drift on the weekends. And that really just took off and kind of changed the course of my life.
I got you. All right. Well, we gotta go ahead and address what the heck is drifting for those of some of us that may not be totally familiar with drifting. What does that mean?
Yeah. Drifting is such a unique motorsports, right? It's kind of the X Games of motorsports, if you will, in terms of just there's we're sliding cars, we're burning the rear tires, so we're constantly in a counter steer with the rear wheels spinning.
Yeah.
And essentially the tracks are set up to where there's rear clips and front clips, and the sports dynamic is based off of a top 32 bracket style, right? So 32 head-to-head battle turns to 16 to 8 to finals. So
and they're scored based on just kind of how cool your tricks are, your turns are.
Right.
Or is it not? It's not speed and distance, really.
Yeah. So, some of the criteria changes, right?
Yeah.
Like there has been speed in the past, but now currently it's your line and your angle and your commitment. So, yes, we may be sliding the same turn or drifting the same turn, but how on throttle, how much angle, and how close to the wall are you? We are either scraping or inches away from chaos at all times, and that's how you get the highest score,
Basically like a snowboarding kind of, sort of similar to that in the way, the tricks they do, and kind of the harder they push those limits, the better the scoring.
Exactly, yeah. It really is. It's such a, snowboarding, skateboarding, judged with 3 judges, right? So someone's style, line, angle, there's those dynamics there. So it isn't quite who crosses the finish line first.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not a race. It is much more of a head-to-head battle. And yeah, our sport's always evolving. And, I found multiple ways after leaving the pro class to evolve with the sport.
I see. Cool. So were you doing some traditional racing before you got into the drifting?
Funny enough, no.
No, that's
No.
where you jump right into the drifting.
Yeah, just like, Dad didn't get me into cars. Basically, from the skate park, guys were sliding cars around in the dirt. What is going on? Wait, it's raining. Let's go to the industrial park.
Yeah.
Really, it was a very slow pattern of just like having fun that turned into kind of some pressure from a mechanic shop that said like, go to this drift event. I remember I went to the drift event, qualified first, finished fourth, and realized my life is going to change forever, and I'm going to pursue drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, and there's a pro circuit for this.
Yep. The pro circuit right now is called Formula Drift. I think, don't quote me. I think it's going on like 20 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like the place to be. So that is our pro circuit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How many kind of informal or just practice runs had you done before your first event? I mean, is there a real opportunity to kind of practice it like that? Or, I mean, obviously just out in the, like you said, an industrial park or something, but.
Yeah. That is a good question, right? It's like drifting takes so much to do it that practice is limited.
Yeah.
So, there's grassroots events like lower horsepower cars, smaller tire, and you can get, 100 runs in a day. Mm-hmm. As you work your way up and you gain power and you gain tire, we're killing a set of tires in 2 laps.
Oh my.
So, our tire allotment for the year is like well over 200 to 300 tires that we're getting from sponsors. And so it can be quite the hill to climb at the pro level right now.
Yeah. Wow. And who's paying for all those tires? The sponsors give them to you?
You know what I mean?
In theory.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's where really telling a story and learning marketing and learning how to carry yourself in that style of motorsport is what sets us apart. Like,
right.
If a racer's fast and the kid's fast, you can bet on that.
Yeah.
And then you find maybe less marketing. But in drifting, having a story and having a brand is really how we're securing sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. So walk us through a kind of a weekend at Formula Drifting event. What is it? I mean, is it every day? I mean, 3 days? Is it 2-day deal where you just have multiple races? I know you said it kind of is a tournament style, so it narrows down.
Yeah, so for all my, fans and OGs watching right now, it's like they know that my last season was 2017 when I left Formula Drift and I went to create my business. So, like, I've been out of it for a bit, still follow it, obviously. So, usually nowadays you're getting to the track on that Tuesday to Wednesday. You're setting up your pit. You're getting your team assembled. People are operating within 4 to 8 crew members at this stage. And you're walking through qualifying. You're walking through practice, qualifying, and then your top 32, 16, 8, 4, and carrying on. So it is for sure just shy of a week.
Yeah.
Currently, that it takes to run one of the events. From travel to get home is about a week's time at a single race.
I'll be honest, man. Didn't even know that world really existed. So that's super cool. Where are the lot? I mean, these happen across the country, or where?
Yeah. That circuit starts in Long Beach, ends in Long Beach. They go up to the New Jersey area, Florida, Atlanta. What is it? Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So there's 8 professional rounds and 4 pro spec rounds. So similar to Supercross, 250, 450.
Gotcha.
There's some stages of the class.
Okay. Well, so last question, kind of on that. Just before you retired from the pro circuit, what's kind of a highlight of your career?
Man, at that point, I think our sport was really firing off to where there was like 60 to 70 drivers per race. So being able to get through a 32 and make it to a 16 for my skill set and my mental skill set at that time was great. And so I remember I did 4 of those moments in a row on my last season. So just kind of walking through qualifying well, getting through 32 and winning battles, and then getting into that top 16 ceremony for your top 8 battle. Like, those were high points for me. As, again, this was 10 plus years ago. So I was a little younger and a little more naive than I am now.
Yeah. Well, so probably a little stigma that this is a pretty reckless and kind of dangerous, job, profession, or hobby, so to speak. Is that true? Or, I mean, because you're kind of going at a slow enough speed, maybe is it not that crazy?
Man, I think it's definitely pretty gnarly, right?
Yeah.
So we're running Hans devices, 6-point harnesses, and yeah, at that level, all the boys are pretty prepared to wreck every single lap, and that's the commitment you have to have. And if you're on the sidebar and you're Googling what is drifting right now, and you're watching cars be an inch apart at 75 miles an hour on a concrete wall, it's very normal for us. So a lot of heart
really
rate.
side by side in that one-on-one competition.
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
I mean, you have to almost mirror the car ahead of you to win these days. And yeah, our entry speeds are shy of 100, and averages are probably in the 50s, and so
that is pretty dangerous.
And we're wrecking a lot. I mean, I'm constantly taking the car out, wrecking the car, bringing the car home. You know what I mean? It's kind of the run of show.
Wow. All right. So eventually, though, you kind of like, all right, let me move past this and back into the screen printing and marketing, and that's kind of what the 144 racing is. So talk to us about what this business is. When did you make that shift?
Yeah, I think at some point in my career, I kind of just matured a little bit, and I thought about, my future and my family, and like, obviously I didn't have a wife or a family at that time.
Right.
But I was just like on a race team, and I was watching kind of, the athletes come and go, and I thought to myself like, oh, I'm an athlete that is going to come and go.
Yeah.
And so if I put the next few years into this and I'm not on the team anymore, like, what do I have?
Right.
And so, there's a level of focus that's needed in drifting from a operational standpoint. And at the age of my pro seasons, I didn't have that mindset as a business owner. And so I really struggled with, like we talked about, like top 16, top 16, top 16, top 16. Like, yes, I'm getting better results than I ever have in my past, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're headed in the right direction. So long story short, I thought to myself, man, I could just like take a year off. I'll go back to my screen printing ways.
Yeah.
I'll start screen printing for some of my sponsors, and I'll get right back into drifting. And man, it was much more difficult than that,
Yeah. Never got back into the drifting.
Well, I never returned to pro yet.
Right. Okay.
I
still holding out.
I still think about it so often, and I've acquired like way more partnerships and sponsorships, and way more deals. And so to sum it up, it's like when I did get back into drifting at a heavy level, I created tours. So I basically learned how to market and speak. And I would say, to my top 5 or 6 sponsors, like, where do you want me to go? Like, let's design my schedule for how you and I feel versus following a certain schedule.
Yeah.
And man, that took off. Like the first year when I did not have a tire sponsor, I thought of the endless search for summer. If you've ever seen that surfing poster. And so I called it the endless search for tires. And everyone was like, well, what is this? And I'm like, I need tires.
Yeah.
And so I marketed a whole tour off of needing tires. And by the time that season ended, I had a full-blown tire sponsor.
Wow.
So just telling story and marketing is what I found when I left drifting. And it's been tough to return to the pro class and balance my screen printing business.
Mm-hmm. So are you doing, obviously, a lot of screen printing, but are you helping other drivers now in their whole marketing campaigns? And is that part of the agency? Or how?
Yeah, I mean, we're still definitely on more of a design to print package. So like, for full-blown race trailers and their suits and, their hero cards and their T-shirts, and like, we will for sure style out an athlete in a professional manner. But I wouldn't say we're not in between any of their sponsors.
You're not creating their content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So just more on the brand side, like using, and really this all started with, I had to design my shirts. I had to design my car. I had to design my hero cards. Like everything I was doing for myself operating as a professional drifter, like a light bulb clicked and I was like, oh wait, I could do this for you.
Right.
So now let me put,
So do you, in addition to that, you have kind of your own brand that you're still selling and promoting? I mean,
I'm struggling, right? Like 144, truthfully comes from my race number.
That's your race number. Okay.
Yep. So I had a friend who passed away. His favorite number was Brett Favre, number 4.
Yeah.
He loved number 4. And when I originally went to my first drift competition, I thought I would put a 4 and a 4 together and be 44. And there was already my boy Ryan Turek. He's Mobile One, Red Bull, like full semi. I'm a kid in an open bed trailer. and he has 44.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you weren't getting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I going to do? So I thought of Travis Pastrana with the 199, and I thought I'll put a 1 before it and be 144. Okay. And the boys at the box office were like, there's no 3 digits in drifting, and I begged them, and they allowed it. And so I think we became the first 3-digit number in drifting 15 years ago, you know?
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's fun.
That's really cool. So and you do beyond just drivers, right? I mean, what other merchandise you do? Screen printing, embroidery for anybody?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep, 100%, man. Like, our doors open here in Denton.
Yeah.
Coffee shops, local businesses, you know, fence builders, lawn care. Like,
you're doing it all.
Yeah, we got it all. Everything is welcomed. You know, it's been nice with the motorsports community. We haven't been in large competition with local business. A lot of our work is from out of state,
right?
Just because of our network and our marketing. But yeah, we get some cool local brands, you know, in the Dallas area, skate shops, and so it's been fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I imagine it is a lot of word of mouth of just kind of one motorsports guy saying to the, where'd you get that? You know, yeah, you got to call Nate to hook you up and do your stuff.
Yeah, and when we started that resource in the motorsports community just wasn't cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, where you print your shirts, it was like, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that hopefully our brand has had an impact that has made people excited to print with us and excited to be proud of where they're creating their products, you know?
Yeah. So has Denton been a good place for you on that front?
Yeah. But I love Denton, man. You know, me and my wife, everything has kind of fallen into place. We used to drive up here and just be around. And I remember a funny story. You know, we were sitting on the lawn, not to shout out myself here, but like, we're literally sitting on the lawn, and a random person comes up and is like, "Yo, Nate." And I'm like, "What? Hello." And they're like, "You're the drifter." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "This is such a cool town." And they're like, "Well, there's a loft available next to me." And we're like, "What?" And literally, like, within a month, we moved into the loft right here on the square behind East Side.
Okay.
And like, just from a random connection, like, just
that was at the courthouse lawn.
Yeah, on the courthoust lawn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Somebody
just like
recognize you.
just hanging out with my lady on a Sunday, and someone recognized me and had a space available, and we moved in.
That's what got you here. Okay. Hey, whatever it takes, man. Now that we got you, we're keeping you. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's stay here forever. So you do some events, and obviously you do some drifting, kind of. And I don't know how much you can talk about that at your shop or behind your shop, but tell us how you still do some of that and what kind of events you got coming up.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what's so cool about our little industrial park is I, again, got in at such a amazing time for the complex. I had a business mentor, you know, and basically there was a point in time where I was literally chalking out and measuring for an oven, a press, and a lift. And, you know, this guy...
That's all you were going to try and make room for.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I need my press here, I need my dryer here, and I need my lift here. And it's like, you know, suddenly there's a guy showing up, and he's like, "What are you up to?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm putting, you know, this press here and this race car here." And he was just like, "I've never seen this before." You know, just like, what's going on in here? And so turns out he ended up owning the complex. Okay. So after months and months of him, you know, kicking my butt as a mentor in business and really teaching me, like, me getting off of the press and me selling is where my strong suit is. And us, you know, fighting through that time has really elevated the business. So long story short, at that point in time, I had the full rights to drift the property. And so as the property has sold, we've kind of just always coined it in, like, you know, we drift here, right? And everyone's been cool with it.
Yeah. Before you buy this, there's something you should know. Yeah.
Literally.
We own this little piece out here.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, in that sense, you're not out of control and doing anything too crazy back there behind.
No, and honestly, it's either for marketing, right? Whether we're drifting around a Christmas tree for an ad, or we're like testing a car before we travel 24 hours with it. Like, it isn't anything, I would say, of just like youth that's just being dumb, right? It's very thoughtful, and we kind of set the staff up on the corners and make sure we watch our eyes on cars. And yeah, it's like, it's safe.
It's safe. Yeah. What
the cops are listening to this right
now.
Yeah,
it's totally safe. No need to come by. Check us out. Yeah. You mentioned 200 or 300 sets of tires a year in the pro circuit. Like, what does a set of tires cost if you had to buy them yourself?
I mean, let's just say right around $150 to $200, depending on the tire you're going to buy. So, yeah, I mean, you could easily burn around $400 if you include fuel in like less than a minute. The runs are anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds. Times that by 2, sub 2 minutes, $400, gone.
Expensive little sport there.
It's gnarly, yeah. I mean, from a sponsorship perspective, I think, in 2026, we try so hard to gain $350,000, $400,000 in capital to operate. I mean, with staff, travel, cost of goods, wrecks and all of the things you have to fix.
Yeah.
While also trying to operate, I'm currently in a GR86, so like a newer Toyota platform. So we stay relevant to the parts that are selling, right? So just all of the bar just goes up and up and up and up. So got to really put your game face on to get
staying out there doing it, and even though you're not on the pro circuit, probably helps you kind of make some new connections as well, and kind of spills over to the business side, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like
I mean, I think
there.
Definitely, like the t-shirts have complemented the racing and vice versa, right? The racing complements the business, and it's like my team always kicks me out of the shop once a month, and they're like, go get out in the world, because when you're out in the world, you bring home work.
You're selling,
Exactly.
ABC. Very cool. So you mentioned before we jumped on an event that you've got coming up in September. Tell us what that is.
Yep. September 5th. So it's called the Apex Fest, and thankfully from Doug at Rapscallion, right? So there's local race shops in Crescent, Texas.
Okay.
So just west of Fort Worth. There's a whole run of show with Apex Fest, and essentially it is racing meets drifting. So there is 2 tracks, and the 144 business gets to kind of operate the drifting side along with Max First. So really it's just like we get a full-blown racetrack to drift on, and there's a full-blown racetrack to race on. There's multiple racing series going on, and there's drifting going on all weekend.
Yeah.
So it is our like most relaxed at-home event where anyone can pull up, pretty much raise your hand, hop in a drift car, experience drifting, watch drifting all day, watch racing all day, and it's free to enter. September 5th, man.
So where do people get info on that?
You can follow our socials, or I'm trying to think of the website exactly, but yeah.
Maybe we'll put that in the show notes. How about that?
Let's do that. Yeah. It'll be on 144racing.com underneath the schedule. Yeah. It'll be on there as well. So.
All right. That's where everybody finds you on the socials, 144 Racing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, tune into all that. Connect with Nate there. Cool. Anything kind of surprise you as you started running your business? Like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that, and any challenges you've kind of overcome? Any stories like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely think I started business out of a necessity.
Yeah. Right?
Like, I definitely did not feel, for those who knew me in my youth, it's like I'm for sure not like the super business guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like I didn't grow up just being like, I'm going to own and operate a business, But I did feel that I learned a lot about operating, and I learned a lot about, under promise, over deliver, give more than you take, watching how other businesses operate, and thinking to myself, like, I can bet on me, I can bet on t-shirts, and I can bet on my consistency. But yeah, I feel like the whole thing has been pretty difficult. Like, I definitely feel like with every pattern of growth, there's weight.
Yeah.
And you find yourself kind of on this endless journey where I almost feel like an addict at some point, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just, whether it's the employees where the salaries need to go up because the groceries are going up, and the cost of goods for the blank garments going up, but the people don't want to pay the it's just it's been very, very difficult the last few years, I'd say. But it's cool. It's a challenge, and I feel like that's the point of it, right? And got to kind of...
You're building something now.
Yeah, you just got to rock and roll.
It takes work. It takes some real elbow grease to build something cool.
What about you? Do you feel that way in business with yourself?
Still happens, for sure. Yeah. I mean, what we find is we're growing, we're rocking along, and everything's feeling pretty good. But now we're kind of gotten to the point where, because we've attained new customers or clients, we need to add more people.
Right.
And so you feel like, okay, I've got the margin I like, but now we need to add some more people. and
Right.
so then the margin squeezes back down, and so it's always kind of that game. But you know, I mean, I love what you said. You know, just under promise, over deliver. I mean, having that attitude of just really taking care of the customer, the client. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to pay for itself.
Yeah, 100%. It's like some stuff that's been surprising to us is like, you know, a lot of our customers, let's call it, are, you know, YouTubers,
Yeah.
influencers, like my friends that produce products, you know, they crush it, right? Like they
Right.
have big moments, they do big car giveaways, they give away Porsches,
Yeah.
like there's very big moments. You know, we've been able to kind of create the policies, if you will, to print for Zoomies. So now
Wow.
we're in malls and
Yeah.
they're in malls, so we're in malls, and there's this whole ebb and flow where like 2020 things in the world seemed to be in decline,
Yeah.
and these YouTubers took off.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting here, you know, vouching to drive to work as we've had more orders than we've ever had.
Right.
Although now, you know, years later, you can almost watch the world seemingly okay, but the orders or the malls doing less.
Right.
And so it's just so surprising, to your point of like, holy smokes, we have all of this going on. We need to scale up. Production needs X amount of units a month now.
Yeah.
And you scale up, but then it's tough to tell if the following month is going to have that
Is it gonna
same
keep going?
result, you
Yeah.
know? So that's been what has been interesting and allowed us to just be more creative.
Yeah.
Like our design studio needs to flourish now, so we have two things to bank on versus just one.
I think having some diversity in your business and the different offerings you have is important as well. So
Right.
Sounds like
I'm
you're on
learning that.
Yeah, you're
I'm
on
learning that
Yeah.
more and more. I'm like, all right, we need more lanes to open up services,
Right.
so we can maybe not stress so much if you know, a client isn't crushing it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you've got a saying that every day is Friday. So, I mean, that the way you've described kind of some of the challenges of business, that might be a tough mentality to maintain when when it's payroll day, or when
Right.
you're looking for a new customer, like where are these? But what does that mean, and how do you maintain that mentality?
Yeah, you know, like when onboarding, let's say employees,
Yeah.
I've really, you know, I kind of set this bar for myself that, you know, I never wanted to wear a suit and tie, right?
Right.
Love suit and ties. And I actually do enjoy wearing them. But like, the idea was I never really wanted to work in such a corporate entity that I felt that the skateboarder in me wouldn't be alive.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I always wanted to keep that skate shop feel.
Mm-hmm.
And as I, you know, onboard employees, the idea was like, you're a reflection.
Yeah.
You know? So whether you say you'll be on time or your physical body is on time, I'm going to just watch the physical results.
Right.
And so the idea for them was, you know, we have such awesome retention at our shop because really I feel like one of maybe the talents are to put the right puzzle piece in the right place. Right. So it's like I can tell when the sales chicks really love sales.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell when a mechanic really loves being a mechanic.
Yeah.
And when that isn't working, I've learned to get out of it before it sticks too long.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when people work at 144, it's just like they just love it, right?
Yeah,
It's just
they're
fun.
doing what they
Yes.
do well and what they enjoy doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my kind of quote to them is just every day's Friday.
Yeah. We're
I want you to want to be here. I
Right.
want us to grow together. And it is a double-edged sword in the idea of like, you know, especially from a creative standpoint, like, okay, you're coming in for media. Like, you drive media. You create what you want. Like, I've learned there is boxes to create and there is processes to create. But when you get that right person who can just really drive forward, it's a big blessing.
That's cool. Well, my motto is every day is Monday. No, I'm kidding. I don't like Mondays. No,
And the bills are due.
Yeah, the bills are due. I like every day's Friday. I'm going to go with that. That's really cool. All right. Well, so now you've been in Denton for 5 or 6 years. What do you love about Denton? Or is there a hot spot you like, a restaurant? What do you like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like, I'm trying to think here, like Hannah's,
Yeah.
which I've coined Hanaz for those who don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think I might have just missaid it to my lady one time, but it sounded really fancy.
Yeah.
So I personally really enjoy Hanaz.
There you go.
The steak there is awesome. The
Yeah.
staff's awesome. Queenie's, of course, again.
Sure.
I just feel like when we're going out, we try to hit some nice spots.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, there's so many cool places to to do like the team camaraderie, right? Whether it's Harvest House or the boys at East Side.
Right.
There's definitely some just really cool spaces you can walk to and kind of guide people. Like when people come in town, like for example at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
So right here up the block, we really try to corral some drivers over, and they just love it. Like there was an event near Day of the Dead, and the whole town was lit up, and they're just like, this is like a mini Austin. And I'm like, did you Google it? Because I think that's what we call it. You know what I mean? So it was very fun. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on the square. Coffee shops, good food.
Yeah.
I love it here, man.
Cool. Well, we're glad to have you here. And it's I don't know how many ex-pro athletes we have in the city of Denton, but there can't be that many. So you're among a short list for sure.
I try to blend in normally. You know?
No, it's really cool. Quite an honor to have you on, and really appreciate you taking time. Now, got some hats. You've got, but these are Norman Osco hats. Love to give a guest, every guest I have on a hat,
Awesome.
so you get a chance to pick a hat there. Maybe we'll have to feature some 144 hats going forward.
That's right, man. I'll bring you some. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you jumping on. Anything else you need to promote? Anything you want to tell our listeners? Or
Man, I'm trying to think, you know. I think what you're doing is a great job. I think, you know, highlighting Denton, and I've learned so much through your socials, just on whether what's going on around town,
appreciate
you know, watching other business owners ebb and flow in the positive and negative times of just life.
Right.
And that's really what drew me to this podcast, was just knowing that I feel like there's value to be had with T-shirts and creative arts. And we're kind of tucked away at 1700 Shady Oaks, and it's a welcoming spot for those who want to check us out. And we're here to create for everyone, from design to print. And, you know, we've done storefronts, we've done boats, cars, just we're trying to be as creative as possible. Yeah. And just wanted to come and say hi and share our story, you know.
Well, y'all check out Nate, 144racing.com, and all the good stuff he's doing there. And Nate, really appreciate you jumping on and sitting down with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. If you didn't know Nate Hamilton before now you do.